So recently I remembered Chrysler existed, and it got me intrigued to see what Chrysler is up to these days, because in my opinion it is, or at least was, a very important brand within the automotive industry in North America and also sometimes in Europe. To my surprise, I found out it almost entirely stepped out of production, only making one car, and that in my opinion would have been okay if it was something like the iconic Chrysler 300 with like a muscle V8 and stuff like that. However, they stopped the production of those in the early part of December of 2023. As it was the second car model they were making at that time, also really decreasing in sales as well. Chrysler has scaled it down to only one car, and that's being the Chrysler Pacifica. Not to mess it up with the Chrysler Pacifica made between 2004 and 2008. No, the Chrysler Pacifica minivan, launched in 2016. Weirdly enough, after more than 9 months, there are still many Chrysler 300s for sale. Here, let's take a look. So this is the Chrysler website, already starting off very depressing with a minivan. But if you go to vehicles, you can see that the Chrysler Pacifica is still being sold, and the Chrysler 300, which is quite strange because the vehicle hasn't been made for over 9 months. But if you click on it, you're starting to see why. If you search new inventory, and you go to sort by distance and not in miles but nationwide, you could see that 1,446 units are still up to being sold, which is insane. If you go to the Wikipedia site, however, you could see that in 2023, 13,169 units were made in the United States, as you can see up here, and 1,500 in Canada, but that's not really important for now, because this is for the US. So, 1,446 of those 13,169 units are still not sold, and it's currently the 28th of August 2024, and the production ceased in the beginning of December 2023. So after 9 months, at least 12 or 13%, if I do it correctly, are still not sold. And one of the most bizarre facts is that the starting price of these vehicles that haven't been sold in 9 months after production is starting at around $40,000. So back to the Pacifica. Chrysler made over 130,000 Pacificas in 2023, which is, well, kind of okay. And Stellantis just completely neglects the company because it's primarily currently focusing it on modders who want an environmentally friendly hybrid 9-speed 7-seater that looks like the modern equivalent of a Roman sandal that still has been worn daily since the fall of the Roman Empire, in my opinion. You know, if you're into minivans and stuff like that, that's okay. But to drag down an entire company which was once so known for making good quality cars and nice looking cars, and bringing it down to a minivan, only a minivan, is insane. Furthermore, I also saw somebody on TikTok that said that it would have been better to forge Chrysler into Dodge, to at least remove it with this sad only model being made. I actually completely agree. Although, for example, the early 2000s also weren't that beautiful of times for Chrysler. However, at least the website didn't look that depressing, because the Chrysler brand still had a few models running at that point. It is also said that Chrysler pretty much will be what Opel and many other Stellantis companies in Europe are becoming. Electric rebranded vehicle, because quality isn't important enough, but it's only important that the trees on the side of the road are existing in 2 months. As I found on the Wikipedia page of Chrysler, and I quote, in March 2023, Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares said that the brand will be relaunched with new models. One of those models is expected to be an electric crossover SUV by 2025, previewed by the Chrysler Airflow concept. In December 2023, the Chrysler 300 was discontinued. Furthermore, the company says it plans to make the Chrysler brand go fully electric by 2028. So Chrysler really is becoming what the 6.4 liter Hemis were fearing for. They are an electric brand by 2028, which is in 3.5 years. Which also means that even the 3.5 liter or 3.6 liter combustion engines currently in the Chrysler Pacifica also wouldn't be there anymore. In my opinion, they could in this case, just like GM did with many companies such as Saab, Saturn and Oldsmobile, file bankruptcy for Chrysler, because it's not going that well for them. and rebrand the vehicles to Dodges to somewhat still sell within the market segment, so Chrysler at least doesn't go down the drain that much. In my opinion, in that case, Chrysler would have been great to be traded in the early 2000s with GM to be filed for bankruptcy, so we at least could have something like a electric Saab, for example, which would have been much cooler and much better looking than a Chrysler Pacifica that's fully electric. So these are my thoughts on Chrysler and what's going on with Chrysler. And I'm currently doing some sort of investigation about what they were talking about as an electric crossover SUV in 2025. So this is it. The 2025 Chrysler Airflow electric vehicle crossover SUV, blah blah blah. It is important to say it starts at $50,000, which is currently a well-equipped Pacifica, for example. Here it says it looks like the Mach-E and Tesla Model Y and Volvo XC40 Recharge, and here we see some more prices as the base model would be $50,000 up to $60,000 for the Pinnacle, also quite a strange name. And this is the rear of the car. As you can see, there are 36 slides. This is the front. And in my opinion, the grille looks terrible, but that's just me. And as you can see here, they're trying something with the logo. Also, in my opinion, looks terrible. They could have just used the chrome logo that had been going on for over a century. But hang on here. You see, these lights are currently a trend somewhat in the automotive industry. Well, look at this. It's basically a ruin of what a Porsche Panamera looks like. And the front. If we take the front, it's somewhere here. You could see it looks like a Chinese BYD partly. However, kinda looks like it. It really doesn't disconnect itself from electric vehicles at this point, and really will be going up any other electric vehicle being made around this time. So it wouldn't be a success in my opinion as well. Of course, some businessmen and stuff like that will be taking a part of the Chrysler Airflow concept. But what is going on with Chrysler? Really, what is going on with Chrysler? The future also isn't looking that bright. So what do you think needs to happen with Chrysler for it to be somewhat near its former glory in the 20th century? And what do you eventually will happen to Chrysler if they stay on this path? Let me know in the comments down below, and also check out my other videos in this playlist. I think it will be popping up somewhere in this screen. Also check out this playlist with many interesting videos covering various, some historic events of the automotive industry. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video.